Hey everyone, me Kevin here with your stimulus check and stimulus package update for Saturday, July 25th. Today I'm going to start with an update from some of those in power, and then I want to get into some of the dangers that are coming up. But first, how's this for a quick one-liner? Germany recently discovered that stale air in meat and sausage packing plants can lead to the coronavirus spreading as far as 26 feet. People are now calling this Germany's worst job. If you like that one, just wait for the analogy I've got coming up in this. It's ridiculous. Stay tuned. A quick reminder, the pre-sale for how to make money from home, making YouTube videos with your phone or any camera you have, that price for that does go up shortly, so stay tuned. Anyway, link below for more information on that. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin, who's seen as the go-between between Democrats and Republicans, does expect to get some form of Republican bill passed this week. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin wants to provide an unemployment extension immediately, but does not want to disincentivize workers, which is obviously a slap in the face to all of those who want to go back to work, but can't go back to work because their businesses are shut down. Senator Rand Paul, who's extremely against raising the debt, believes that the next stimulus package should be smaller than even the $1 trillion Mitch McConnell has proposed, and says that he worries that Treasury Secretary Mnuchin, the go-between guy, the negotiator, who's like the real estate agent just trying to make everyone happy and collect their commission. Anyway, Treasury Secretary Mnuchin is going to be too easy on the Democrats. That's what Rand Paul worries about. Democrats are obviously pushing for a $600 per week extension to unemployment pay, $1,200 checks to those who received checks last time, including $1,200 to each dependent this time, regardless of age, and a total $3 trillion package, Rand Paul fears that, quote, "We're going to put out a bill and Democrats will double it." He worries that Republicans will eventually be stuck with a counteroffer from Democrats. Rand Paul is not the only one saying this. Multiple congressmen and women have indicated that the Republicans' bill will actually be a starting point. This is very good news because even though Congress is terribly slow, I have a feeling we're all going to be terribly disappointed with the text of the first version of the Republican bill coming up this week. However, many others are also saying that this is just a negotiation tactic, that Republicans are purposely grinding down the size of the bill, knowing that Democrats will counteroffer. It's almost like Republicans are trying to pre-negotiate it, which pre-negotiating is exactly what I teach you how to do in my real estate investing course so you can get those sweet, sweet deals. These negotiations, though, are giving us anxiety and chest pain, which makes you want to make sure that you have your life insurance, which you could sign up for in as little as 5 minutes, link down below. However, even as pissed off as I am at Congress, I am hopeful that a final bill will be much more reasonable than what we're about to hear on Monday. And if it's not Monday, then it'll be Tuesday, and if it's not Tuesday, it'll be Wednesday. Remember, Republicans right now are considering also passing a simplified bill that would simply include liability protections for businesses, credits for schools, with 50% of those credits tied to schools being reopened. So schools would have to be reopened to get 50% of those benefits. Possible credits directly to students to be able to distance learn. We're not exactly sure what that means, but that might mean money for laptops or money for internet, some sort of subsidy, along with a boost for unemployment, which the current position is that the $600 per week unemployment boost from the federal government should be reduced to $200 per week, with some suggesting it might go as low as $100 per week. This negotiation comes at the same time as the eviction ban is now over. Landlords can now file evictions nationwide unless the state or local government has imposed some sort of tighter restriction. Now, there is a little bit of good news, and that is that state unemployment pay is continuing whether or not you are or were an employee or you're self-employed. For example, Florida offers $275 per week compared to the $600 per week the Fed was giving. That meant if you were unemployed in Florida, you got a total of $875. Some states offer less for the state portion, some states offer more. And keep in mind, the state pay does continue even if you're self-employed or an independent contractor. That's called the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, and it allows self-employed to be eligible for state pay all the way through December 31st. In the meantime, though, we are in a dangerous position in our economy. And stay tuned for this analogy that I've got coming up here. Economists are suggesting that even just the threat of unemployment expiring has already led millions to cut back on spending, especially since as many as 30% of Americans have absolutely zero wealth, which means the only thing many can rely on is their weekly paycheck, which with many businesses closed, like movie theaters, gyms, restaurants, laying off substantial employees, a lot of people are jobless. In fact, almost 20 million Americans right now are jobless. And this might put us at the intersection of a massive pandemic. Many economists see another round of $1,200 stimulus checks, including $1,200 for dependents, as a necessary lifeline for households, especially those who have lost jobs in sectors that are closed. However, current progression doesn't look good. People cut back on spending because they know the cuts to unemployment are coming or they're worried about them. People stop paying rent. Eviction filings are ramping up. Landlords cut back on spending, and all of a sudden tenants and landlords, everybody's cutting back on spending. And the economy grinds to a halt, not in a V-shaped recovery, but in something that resembles more of an L, where maybe things just don't go back up. Most essential workers and heroes are also being completely cut out of consideration for additional benefits. And it appears that the only essential workers continuing to receive benefits is Congress. Yes, Congress, who's an essential worker with essentially a 6-figure salary per employee. Yet they get nothing done. Quite frankly, I had a dream that I think is very accurate. If Congress were an essential store, like a grocery store, Nancy Pelosi would be walking around marking down prices of inventory to make costs lower for Americans. And Mitch McConnell would be right behind her, removing those stickers. Rand Paul would be picking up pennies in the parking lot. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin would be handing out smiley face stickers at the door, trying to make everybody happy, but everybody knows they're walking into a disaster. Trump would be yelling from his office through the intercom every 3 minutes, demanding that something get fixed, and would blame the floor manager for damage. Democrat Chuck Schumer would be in the deli staring resentfully at other members doing nothing, yet he's also doing nothing. And meanwhile, Anthony Fauci would be getting whipped by Kayleigh McEnany in the back alley. And every customer who comes in would get greeted with nasty old elevator music and a wooden cart that barely rolls. Oh, wait, that's not a dream. That's an analogy of exactly how things are working right now. And it's at this time I highly suggest that A, you start saving more cash if you can, and B, reduce risk. Somewhere around 10,000 of you have signed up for 2 free stocks with Webull via the link down below. That means a lot more of you are probably invested in the stock market than have ever been before. Remember, you could sign up for Webull, you deposit $100 and you get 2 free stocks. Kind of gives you a head start. But this also means that many more of you should be prepared for volatility that's coming in the next few weeks. We're all in this one together. In coronavirus news, we're officially at 74,360 cases for Friday and now at an elevated death count of 1,150, which is also slowly beginning to climb. My thoughts and prayers go out to all of you. Please be safe. Please consider masking up and also consider learning how to make a YouTube channel so that you can make videos just like this and edit them in under 5 minutes. And remember, the price for that does tick up as we get closer to the release date for that course. It's on pre-sale, so you may as well get in now.